Cucumber squad. Right, man, look what we have here, man. The cucumbers are back. The cucumbers are back. How long have we been waiting, man? How long have we been waiting? So, Scaled and Icy, which is their new album, is being dropped on the 21st of May. I think they're doing a whole live stream. You better know I'm going to be part of that, and then we'll see what they've got to offer over there. Before we even get started with the song that they dropped, Shy Away, just with regards, a lot of people have been asking me about the breakdowns of the other songs, which I have promised. I apologize it's taken this long. What's actually happened is that I started with something, then wasn't happy with what I started, then completely changed the direction, wasn't happy with that. Then things happened in my own personal life, I couldn't get onto that, and then eventually I got despondent on the breakdowns of those things. So it's a lot of work that goes into each one of those videos, and I can't use the tracks, and I'm trying to do something where I'm not using the actual music, because if I use the actual music, it gets claimed. And if it gets claimed, it really isn't worth my time. It genuinely is not worth my time. It's just I can't have something that takes me 8 hours to do per video, and then it gets claimed by the artist. So I haven't really settled in terms of like where I'm going to land on it. Like I said, it was all in pieces before. It's still all in pieces. Yeah, I've got a certain idea that I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on it. In the next couple of weeks, I will be working on it. So what I've decided is I'm going to drop that entire thing after the album has been dropped. So after 21 Pilots' new album has been dropped, I will then start with the song and album breakdowns like I promised you guys. So don't expect any of that. I know a lot of people have been requesting it, and I apologize that I'm late. I apologize, I'm only human. It was just, yeah, it's a bit of a bumpy one for me. But yeah, so only expect them in June. Beginning of June, you can start expecting 21 Pilots, further breakdowns. And it'll also be a good thing for me to sort of like ride that hype as well, so that it does get more views and it does get more exposure. So yeah, so I apologize. I hope you guys can forgive me for that. And I hope you can be patient just until June. Let's sort of ride this wave. Let's react to this whole brand new album. And the moment we're done with that, I can kick up, and it also gives me time to actually put the content together for you. So yeah, so forgive me for that. But hey, 21 Pilots, man, Shy Away, man. We are finally here, new album, new song. Let's see what these guys got. I'm loving the artwork so far, and also the clues and everything with this little trident that they've got over here, which is like 3 different locations in the world. I've been following that kind of thing. But hey, let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got. I haven't heard this one. I've been holding back, obviously, because I want to react to it. But let's see what we got. 21 Pilots, Shy Away. Let's roll. Hey. So when I get home, you better not be there. I think you said we're placing bets on whether you shed your modesty. Wait, let's go back. Sorry guys, you know how this works, man. I pause. So I'm placing bets on whether you shed your modesty, and the only thing you should leave behind is your skin on the floor. So basically, I like the fact that he says shed your modesty, so basically how a snake would shed its skin, right? So that's the old me, that's my old insecurities, that was my old identity. So placing bets if whether you shed that modesty, whether you drop that, right, and leave your skin, the old you, on the floor. I like that. That's very, very cool. Typical Tyler, though. On the floor, don't you shy away. Hey. Tyler. Wait a second. I can do this here, bro. What is this, bro? What are these two little Mickey Mouse antenna buds doing on your head, Tyler? No, bro. Rather do one. I've never been a man bun person, but rather do one if you're going to man bun the story. Come on, Tyler. Come on, bro. Let's go back. Fuck, that hook is fire, though.
Is your own skin.
And Tyler's got some new moves.
Don't you shy away. Manifest the ceiling when you shy away.
Don't you shy away, because you manifest the ceiling when you shy away, right? You manifest the ceiling, you actually put barriers in front of you. You can't actually break through that ceiling when you shy away from who you are as a person, right? You need to accept who you are, you need to be aware of who you are as yourself. It's great, it's very clever. Again, it's this poetic 21 pilots that is just typical Tyler, typical Josh. Know what I mean? And did you guys notice that Josh actually has the yellow drumsticks? It's like the only yellow thing I'm seeing here.
The floor, don't you shy away.
Yo.
Manifest the ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you. It isn't words, like a song he wrote, it's never heard.
Yeah, he's got some new moves, Tyler. He's like doing this little jiggly thing there. You know what I mean? Like, I like it though. So like, it's not twitchy anymore. It's actually like it's an evolved twitch. It's like, hey, it's like a little penguin shuffle. You know what I mean? So I like the fact that he says searching for a feeling like an I love you, right? But it's not in words. So that's basically what he said. So he's kind of looking for validation, for acceptance, for not to be rejected, right? And it's not actually said, it's not something that's spoken, it's actually a feeling, right? Like an I love you. That I love you means so much that, you know, when someone says I love you, it makes you feel amazing. So you want that feeling of validation, you want that feeling of want, you want that feeling of sort of acceptance, right? But it's not actually spoken in words. It's actually something that you manifest yourself within your heart. I like that. It's very cool.
Like a song he wrote, it's never heard. Don't you?
Okay.
When you get home, you barely recognize the pictures they put in a frame. 'Cause you shared your
So basically it says you barely recognize the pictures that they put in the frame because you shed your modesty, right? So meaning if you're shedding your modesty, what is left? Arrogance? You know what I mean? So you kind of don't know who you are anymore because you've dropped the modesty. Like you've gotten more arrogant is kind of what I'm feeling, essentially. But it's kind of like it's kind of being aware of that. It's kind of being aware of who you are as a person, but also it kind of like shows a bit of a journey in your life in terms of like moving up, getting maybe more famous, getting more recognition essentially, which gives you a bit more of a chip on your shoulder, a bit more confidence essentially. Yeah, so that's something, but let's...
'Cause you shared your modesty, don't circle the track, take what you have.
Don't circle the track. That's flipping fire, man. I like the way he's done that because circle the track in terms of circle the track. If you think of an LP, circle the track, which is like song, and then circle the track is like an athlete. So don't circle the track. There's no other avenue. You're consistently in this rut. You're circling this track. And it's just, you know what I mean? So that kind of also playing into knowing Tyler, playing into your head where you consistently on loop, consistently, right? And the only way you're going to get out of that loop is by shedding your skin, leaving that on the floor, right? And trying something different, breaking through that ceiling. I like that, very cool.
You have and leave your skin on the floor. Don't you shy away.
This hook is fire.
Manifest the ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you.
Okay.
It isn't words, like a song.
actually noticed a Tyler with these two little buds on your head, bro? Have you actually noticed? So obviously there's now these, it looks like they're, so there's other people now. Check out these people on either side of them. They're wearing the masks that are actually all torn now, which obviously means something. A lot of people have actually, I've been reading quite a few things where people say that there might be 2 albums. This might be an alternative to one of the albums that are going to come that's going to be a continuation of Demo or Blurry Face. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of theories out there with what's been happening lately, right? As you know, there's so much hype, there's so much sort of like puzzle piecing to put together when 21 Pilots drops absolutely anything, right? But I like the fact that now they are not the ones wearing these masks. It's almost as if they've revealed themselves. So like Tyler, Joseph, and Josh has like revealed themselves. They've shed their skin, but like the people on the outside of them they now have their masks that are in tatters. I'm not entirely sure if that's maybe by design, but you know how it goes. Sometimes you look too far into it. Anyway, let's go into it.
Manifest a ceiling when you shy away, searching for that feeling just like an I love you that isn't words, like a song hero that's never heard. When I get home, pour your bed and I'll be there, you're long.
You see, so it's him. So it's actually him as well. So actually it's like Tyler and Josh all in this on the sidelines there as well. So I kind of feel it's like the old them. So they're obviously they must be playing into the old albums as well, knowing 21 Pilots. They're playing possibly into Blurry Face, or they're playing into Truce, something like that. We'll know a little bit more when the album actually drops, right? But now they're on the sidelines, but they themselves, in terms of the main characters, right, are fully revealed essentially, and then their masks that they use for their insecurity is slowly breaking away. If you can actually see the way it's represented here, it's no longer complete masks. It's almost like they're revealing themselves, they're shedding, which I think is really cool. I like that. Don't circle the track, so break the cycle in half, which I think is very clever, because obviously there's a consistent cycle in your head, a psychological cycle that happens in your brain. I quite like to call it the autopilot. But he says when you break the cycle in half, now if you circle the track and you break the track in half, all of a sudden you've now got 2 avenues out. You've got 2 paths out, right? So when you cut a circle in half, you're now left with this end and this end that now you can get out from, essentially. So I'm not entirely sure if that's connecting to what they're saying in terms of the 2 characters, in terms of him and Josh. Don't circle the track, cut it in half, 2 parts out. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, this is my own perception, my own interpretation. And you know how I like to sort of dissect these things a little bit more. But yeah, that's my interpretation on the first listen.
Just break the cycle in half and leave your skin on the floor. Don't you shy away. Manifest a ceiling when you shy away. Searching for that feeling just like an I love you that isn't words, like a song hero that's never heard.
Hook is so much fire. This hook is so much fire. I really, really like. This is a proper bouncy little track.
Like a song hero that's never heard.
Yeah.
It's never heard.
Hey, Tyler's moves are fire at the moment. Come on, Tyler. It's no more like the twitchy. This is like now he's like opened up here. Let's go.
Like a song hero that's never heard. It's never heard.
fire. Now, obviously there's a lot of meaning that's going to come in from this album, right? There's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to have to piece together, because you know it's 21 Pilots. The whole trident is going to mean something. This song is going to tie into something else. You know there's a whole story behind this. These guys, when they drop something, it's like a flipping maze. You need to try and figure it out. You need to try and decipher it. You need to try and see what they're saying. So from the first listen, this is kind of like what I interpret from. It's very cool. I'm pretty sure it ties into something else, which is amazing. But I kind of feel like this new era stuff is basically like a new era of Josh and Tyler. I kind of feel like it's like they've broken away from the sad, depressing, the insecurities and that kind of thing. So I kind of feel it's like a new era of awareness, a new era of introspection, a new era of thought and enlightenment, a new era of energy, which I think is super awesome. That's what I'm getting to feel straight off the bat from the artwork, from this particular song. I kind of feel like they've got a lot of positivity to push out now, essentially. Like we've now moved into, as you know, that they've moved on in their lives. They've got Tyler's got a beautiful girl. They've got a family, and so does Josh, and things like that. So I kind of feel like they're in a different space, and I think that tie-in is going to be still tied into the previous albums, but I think it's going to be a major development and evolution moving forward and away from Blurryface. That's personally my personal opinion. I think it's kind of like leaving Dima for good, if that makes any sense. But that's just me. I love you all, man. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. I absolutely love that. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.